The far-right wing of the Republican Party, colloquially dubbed the Maga Movement, is imploding under the weight of its contradictions. Fueled by rage-baiting, disinformation, and infighting, the faction that once promised to make America great again is now tearing itself apart from within. The recent developments surrounding Representative Matt Gaetz, Donald Trump's controversial cabinet picks, and ongoing accusations of hypocrisy reveal an organization in chaos. From Gaetz's grandstanding and allegations of misconduct to Donald Trump's surprising choice of George Soros's former chief investment officer as a key appointee, the unraveling threads expose a party divided. Adding to the turmoil are figures like Marjorie Greene, who is threatening to expose her Republican colleagues' darkest secrets, and an angry MAGA base turning on GOP members for failing their extreme litmus tests. This toxic mix of personal vendettas, ideological rifts, and political incompetence showcases a movement unable to govern effectively, let alone present a unified front for the upcoming elections. In this video, we'll dissect the mounting chaos in MAGA land, from the fallout of Gaetz's actions to the growing backlash against Trump's appointees. We'll also explore how figures like Mike Lawler and Marjorie Greene are fueling the fire, illustrating why the MAGA movement's inability to govern is creating unprecedented dysfunction. Matt Gaetz versus Kevin McCarthy, a Republican civil war. At the center of the MAGA movement's latest debacle is Representative Matt Gaetz, whose actions have left the Republican Party scrambling. Known for his theatrics and penchant for controversy, Gaetz spearheaded the effort to oust Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House. While Gaetz framed this move as a crusade against establishment Republicans, it has triggered a wave of infighting among GOP lawmakers and supporters alike. Republican Congressman Mike Lawler of New York called Gaetz a clown and a charlatan, echoing sentiment shared by many of his colleagues. Lawler has been vocal in his criticism of Gaetz, accusing him of undermining the party's majority and aligning with Democrats out of personal vengeance. This has not gone unnoticed by MAGA loyalists who have launched vitriolic attacks on Lawler, branding him a rhino, Republican in name only, and demanding his political downfall. The tension spilled onto social media, where Lawler engaged directly with MAGA supporters. Despite being a sitting congressman, Lawler took the bait from anonymous accounts, responding to comments that accused him of betraying the Republican base. The spectacle highlighted not only the deep divisions within the party, but also the pettiness that has come to define its internal conflicts. Meanwhile, Gaetz's own future hangs in the balance. Investigations into allegations of child sex trafficking have tarnished his reputation, and his political capital is rapidly depleting. As some Republicans cheer his potential downfall, others rally behind him, deepening the party's fractures. Donald Trump's cabinet picks, hypocrisy on full display. The chaos doesn't end with Gaetz. Former President Donald Trump, the de facto leader of the MAGA movement, is facing backlash for his recent cabinet picks. His choice for Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, has raised eyebrows and sparked outrage among his base. Bessent, a former chief investment officer for George Soros's fund, represents a glaring contradiction for a movement that has long vilified Soros as the ultimate boogeyman. For years, MAGA Republicans have peddled anti-Semitic conspiracy theories about Soros, painting him as a shadowy puppet master orchestrating globalist agendas. Figures like Representative Tim Burchett of Tennessee have used medieval anti-Semitic tropes, calling Soros a money changer of the worst kind and accusing him of plotting to destroy America. Yet, Trump's decision to appoint Bessent, a man directly tied to Soros, has exposed the hypocrisy at the heart of the movement. The backlash has been swift. Elon Musk, who has become an influential figure in right-wing circles, voiced his disapproval on social media, suggesting that Trump should have chosen someone more aligned with MAGA's populist rhetoric. The schism between Trump and his base over this decision underscores the growing disillusionment among his supporters. Marjorie Greene's threats and Republican secrets. As if the Gaetz-McCarthy drama and Trump's appointees weren't enough, Representative Marjorie Greene has added fuel to the fire. In a startling post, Greene threatened to expose her Republican colleagues' ties to Jeffrey Epstein, as well as other allegations of sexual misconduct and corruption. Greene claimed to have filed ethics investigations against several GOP members and hinted that she possesses damning evidence about their actions. While Greene's threats appear to be aimed at those who opposed Gaetz's nomination for Speaker, they also highlight the toxic environment within the Republican Party. Her willingness to air the party's dirty laundry in public is emblematic of a broader culture of distrust and backstabbing. These accusations have sent shockwaves through the GOP, with many wondering how far Greene is willing to go. Her comments have also drawn criticism from within the Maga movement, as some view her as a liability rather than an asset. Regardless, her actions demonstrate the extent to which personal vendettas are dictating the party's agenda. The Maga movement's obsession with rage-baiting. At the core of the Maga movement's dysfunction is its reliance on rage-baiting and trolling. Rather than focusing on governance, many Maga figures seem more interested in fueling outrage and attacking their own. The result is a party that is not only divided but also incapable of addressing the real issues facing the country. This culture of outrage is exemplified by the interactions between lawmakers like Mike Lawler and anonymous social media accounts. Instead of rising above the noise, Lawler and others engage directly with trolls, further eroding the party's credibility. This behavior reflects a broader trend within MAGA circles, where performative outrage takes precedence over substantive policymaking. Pam Bondi and the January 6th backlash. Another point of contention within the MAGA movement is Trump's selection of Pam Bondi as Attorney General. Many January 6th sympathizers view Bondi as insufficiently loyal to their cause, questioning whether she would advocate for pardoning the insurrectionists. This skepticism is fueled by a recent ruling from Judge Carl Nichols, a Trump-appointed judge, who stated that many January 6th participants should not be pardoned. The divide over Bondi's appointment reflects a broader struggle within the MAGA movement, as its members grapple with the fallout from the insurrection. Conclusion: the MAGA movement is in a state of disarray, undone by its own contradictions and inability to govern effectively. From Matt Gaetz's destructive grandstanding to Donald Trump's controversial cabinet picks, the Republican Party is being pulled in multiple directions, with no clear path forward. As figures like Marjorie Taylor Greene threaten to expose their colleagues' secrets and MAGA loyalists turn on their own leaders, the movement's dysfunction becomes increasingly apparent. What was once a unified force has devolved into a chaotic collection of factions, each pursuing its own agenda at the expense of the broader party. For Democrats and moderates, this presents an opportunity to highlight the GOP's failures and advocate for a more stable, effective government. However, for the country as a whole, the MAGA movement's implosion is a cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing outrage over governance. If the Republican Party hopes to regain its footing, it must address the deep-seated issues tearing it apart. Until then, the chaos will continue, with no end in sight.